I made it. I'm back. Oh my gosh, I made it back. I'm so happy. Hi, you guys. Oh, I love technology, right? But man, I don't like when there is a disruption in service or whatever you want to call it. And I'm happy to be back. So I don't even remember where I was and what I was saying. And I'm going to just, I think we just lit this, and I just told you about my beautiful outfit I'm wearing. And okay, so we were looking at the map, right? And I'm here in my shrine that has the 8 zones, actually the 9 zones, because one is for me as a high elf right here. This map right here, the antique map of Somerset, because that's the kind of the main zone for us high elves, right? So anyways, there you have it. And then yeah, well, whatever. All right, so let me come back over here. So we're talking about traveling across this wonderful area, this wonderful world. Oh, I know what I was just getting ready to tell you about. I was getting ready to tell you about the fact that this is Storyteller Hour, right? And I just read a book. Yeah, this is not in character or role play or anything. This is me just having a chat with you. And I just read a book. I just finished it. It was published in 2022, so it's a very new book. And it's called A Fairy Tale by Stephen King. My friends, I'm going to tell you something. It is as if during lockdown or something, he played ESO. And I'm trying to remember when Apocrypha, when Necrom DLC was released and came out. It seems to me that it's been since lockdown. And it's only been like in the last couple of years, but I could be wrong. The years in ESO tend to blur a bit for me. But he, in his fairy tale, and this is a spoiler alert, so if you're thinking of reading him, you love his books and you're reading it right now, plug your ears. But he has an underground world that you go into the fairy realm, basically, because you descend, you go down into the world inside of our world, which is very fairy, the stars inside the earth. And the realm inside the earth, and it is connected and aligned with Apocrypha. It doesn't have all the floating books and all of that stuff, but it's got the ink plants, the ink. It's got the clouded sky. It's a city of green glass, and the main the antagonist in the book is almost our God, I just went blank on his name too. The head guy. What's his name? You guys, you know his name. Mora. God, I hate my mind right now. My mind's been really playing tricks on me. Something Amora. What's his name? Come on. I know you know it. I know you know his name. What is his name? Come on. Our guy here. Look it, I'll show you him. And then we'll know who it is. You know who I'm talking about already. And maybe some of you are even saying it. But if you're not saying it with me, then you need to hear this as much as I need to hear this. Let's come out here because I've got a little shrine to him right here. This guy, Mora. the Lord of Secrets, right? That guy right there. That's what his antagonist looks like. Isn't that kind of interesting? I think it's very interesting. All right, I'm gonna come out here anyways, and I'll just sit and storytell from in here, okay? Let's see, let's have it sit right there. Okay, so, all right. So the thing about the adventures right now, doing the adventure, is to remember that we have a ton of lore that's going to tie into this. And so I'm going to share with you, and it's all coming out of our lore library here. I'm going to go down to the second section, and I want to just give you a way of using it, because when you're getting 100% more XP when you're going out and about, you're getting 100% more gold, you're getting special loot items. So the idea is to adventure, explore, loot, open those treasure chests, and just go into different maps. So one of the things I want to share with you is, if you're thinking of going into a map, go down here into Shalador's library, and any zone that you're thinking of going to, well, then come down to it. Just come down to that, like let's say you were going to go to Alakir Desert. Just open it up and kind of go through, and then you might see, oh, what's the Sentinel? You know, the Sentinel, the Jewel of Alakir. Or what is the Salus, which is an expedition. And maybe pick something right out of the lore and then go to that map and see if you can find it. Are you done lore, right? What's the Fang of the Vipers? Where's that, you know? Or where is where did the rise of Queen Aran happen? Find it. Vankarai lore. There's all kinds, the Glamoral weird. Go find them. Go find the area. You don't have to do the quest, but just go find them. Get yourself familiar. Cold Harbor lore. There's so many cool things in there. What's the lightless Ubulette? What is that? You know? And go find it. I mean, I do questing, so a lot of that I'm already aware of. But, all right. So I thought what I'd do is expose you to different areas that you might go ahead and quest in. Okay? So, here we go. Let's start off by looking at the Adventures Almanac, especially Volume 2 and Volume 3. This was written by Squirtle the Knife. We meet him in Ribbonspire, don't we? Yep, we meet him in Ribbonspire. He's going to tell us a little bit about Vardenfell and Clockwork City, and also another thing. But I'm going to just read a part of it. So he's talking about Vardenfell, and he says, this dusty heap of rocks and mushrooms features some prime pickings for the discerning mercenary. If you can get over how ornery the dark elves can get about their gods and their dead relatives, you can score some choice jobs from their fixers in the Hall of Justice in Vivek City, and tell Traylon he owes me gold for the last card game he cheated his arse off to win. It's kind of cool, you know? So you could like go, oh, I'm going to Vardenfell, and I'm going to go to the Hall of Justice in Vivek City. You know, I mean, it gives you a location to actually travel to. In Clockwork City, he says, look, I'm not saying this place exists, but I know a guy who says it does. And if you can get inside, there's plenty of work to be done that the creepy locals ain't got time to deal with or consider beneath their interest. You know, I don't care. People look down on us orcs all the time, but are happy to open their pouches when they need something's head bashed in. Losers. And then he goes on to talk about pit fights and pit demons and some really cool things. But let's look at his next book. Now he's talking to us about Somerset. So, the high and mighty elves of Somerset have finally deigned to let us mere mortals set foot on their unspoiled soil. But don't believe all this sugar-coated twaddle. The place has a heap of troubles. Oh my God, in Alinor are particularly begging for competent mercenaries to come show them how it's done. You go to Somerset and then you go to where you find the dailies. This is what he's talking about. Go do some dailies in Somerset. Merkmire. You ever heard of Cyrodiilic collections? Me neither. Not until they started throwing gold around like King Joram in a bod house. I don't know where they're getting their financing, but they pay their dues on time. And when you get to Lilmont, tell them Scordo sent ya. I want my cut. If running errands for a bunch of mudpanners doesn't excite you, the Deadwater tribe is organizing death hunts for some of the nastiest things in Merkmire, and it'll get your blood pumping out of your neck if you're not careful. Again, he's talking about going to Deadwater, which is in the northeast part of the map, and going in and doing the death hunts. It's a bulletin board there, and you can pull it off, and there you have it. You are experiencing. And then of course dragons is in northern Elsewhere and southern Elsewhere, and you could head on over there and fight some dragons. Have you not been to northern Elsewhere or southern Elsewhere yet and fought a dragon? Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you the dragons that land in the 2 or 3 different arenas, they are really high level, and it takes it's like a trial. It takes several people, or a group of really highest level players to take down one of those dragons. You will not, and I repeat, you will not be able to take it down on your own. There's just no way. I've never met anyone high, even of the highest level, 3,500 level, to be able to take it down. But I'm telling you, if you are a person who can take down one of the northern Elsewhere dragons all by yourself, contact me. I want to come and watch. Okay, so then let's look at the guide to northern Elsewhere. Okay. Let's go down here to guide to northern Elsewhere, because I think it's Khajiit territory, but I think EFG, Guide to Northern Elsewhere. I think if you've never been, this is a good place to adventure into. Of all the fur-flung provinces of this great empire, none may be quite as welcoming as Elsewhere. Don't let their beastly countenance fool you. The Khajiit are, by and large, a friendly and gracious people, eager to host visitors and entice travelers with all manner of goods and services. And if you wish to vacation in a land of carefree ease, gentle breezes, and plentiful warmth, look no further. Should you travel there from Cyrodiil, you enter the venerable province of Anaquina, one of the 2 major regions that make up the province of Elsewhere, and find the pastoral town of Riverhold waiting to welcome you. And the bustling border town is a frequent stop for caravanners and travelers passing between Elsewhere and the greater empire. The spacious town square acts as an open-air market where a wide array of goods are peddled right off the wagon by their enterprising owners, and the offerings vary by the hours traders depart on their journeys or arrive from them. And I want to stop here because Um, not every map, not every zone has the achievement merchant, which is depicted on the map by a chair. Excuse me, but that could be an adventure, journey during this 4-day event. Is seek out and go visit all the capitals of some of the zones and visit the achievement merchants. You get a lot. You'll find a lot of cool housing items if you're into housing and you haven't started doing that yet. On the road to Rimmon, you'll begin to see that the land of Elsewhere is as diverse as the Khajiit themselves. And the closer you draw to that flourishing city, the more apparent it becomes that here the arid savanna has been tamed, and the dry grassland has given way to lush greenery and flooded steeps and cane paddies. And within Rimmon's high walls, you will see that the misconception that Khajiit have an aversion to water is greatly exaggerated. Here trees and tropical plants thrive along artificial canals that weave throughout the city, supplied by a great aqueduct that spans the entire kingdom. Older than the city itself is a wonder constructed in an era long behind us. Lounging along the waterways is a favorite pastime for residents and visitors alike. Rimmon's year-round warmth and largely clear skies make it a popular destination for vacationers. So go there, go visit it, go visit the aqueduct, go see the scar, go check out Northern Elsewhere and experience the city of Orcrest while you're up in that part. And don't forget that your Palatine and Valenwood and Cyrodiil, they're all neighboring zones to Northern Elsewhere. Yeah, so, it's kind of cool. You've got some places that you can check out. And that's one place. Now, another place, if you have never been to it, or you went once when it first opened and then stopped going, is Fargrave. Go back. Fargrave and the Deadlands really is my favorite questing area, especially Deadlands. Fargrave may seem to some just an obscure demi-plane of oblivion, but it has a rich history and an important role to serve. Functioning as a crossroads, Fargrave finds itself well trodden by interplanar travelers. For example, it would not at all be surprising to see a mage hailing from Somerset, trading tales with a Ixvincan grasp, I don't know how to say that, of the stricture. Because of this, Fargrave is an exciting locale for any keen adventurer. In fact, when last I visited there, I witnessed a gleaner of Arubis interrogate a pickpocketing scamp, something you'd be hard-pressed to see in Tamriel's mundane countryside, and I hope that this introduction to Fargrave's rich history will make the demi-plane all the more exciting to adventurers new to interplanar travel. And I'm going to tell you something about Fargrave. Fargrave is just really, really cool. And we're going to come back to this book, but I want to hop over to look at the Deadlands. Okay, a guide to the Deadlands. Let's see. In book 11, I think. Let's see, we're in book 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It should be in here. A guide to the Deadlands, right there. Of all the plains in Oblivion, it would be difficult to find one less welcoming to travelers than the Deadlands. The legions of Mehrunes Dagon stand guard, watching for spies, invaders, or escaped prisoners. Deadly monsters roam the landscape in search of prey. The climate varies between deadly volcanic eruptions and bitter howling windstorms that scour the barrens, and the terrain itself forms a torment of razor-sharp rock, knife-edged ridges, and sheer chasms. Yet, here the traveler may see sights that few mortals ever get to witness, provided they can survive. Preparation is the key to surviving a journey into Dagon's realm. First, pack all the food you will need for your visit. The Deadlands have earned that name for a reason. You will find little to eat there, and what you can find presents poor fare indeed. Bring as much water as you can carry. A desert of lava occupies half the realm, while the other half consists of a desert of stone. Even if you stumble across a spring or a pool, it is likely to be tainted or unfit for mortal consumption. Most important, make sure you know how you intend to leave Dagon's realm when you are done with your visit. Many of the portals that lead into the Deadlands are fickle or untrustworthy, and they often permit a traveler to enter but do not function as exits. So if you do not have at least 3 means of egress, you are not prepared to visit the Deadlands. The easiest way to reach the Deadlands is to first make your way to Fargrave, the Celestial Palanquin. A plaza on the outskirts of the city harbors 2 permanent portals leading to different parts of the Deadlands. These are reliable and lead to deserted regions that Mehrunes Dagon's forces rarely patrol. Be wary of portals you find in Nirn or on other planes, since they often deposit you in the middle of fortresses or dungeons, and often do not function in both directions. Now, as for the Deadlands proper, Mehrunes Dagon's realm is divided into regions. 2 prominent regions well known to travelers from Fargrave are the Burn and the Sever. The Burn is a volcanic wasteland dominated by rivers of lava and the iron citadels full of Dagon's legions. The Sever is a cold, windswept desert of stone. In the vast distances between the great citadels, fierce monsters and desperate scavengers abound. Between these 2 regions stands a nameless range of jagged mountains with few passes. As a suggested itinerary for the intrepid traveler, begin by taking the Fargrave portal leading to the Burn. Turn west on the road that passes close by the portal platform. This leads to the brooding fortress known as the Burning Gyre Keep. Look upon its ancient towers and move on. You will find no welcome here. Continuing to the north, you will pass the terrible prison mine known as the Blood Pit. Here, many who displease the Prince of Destruction toil in misery for the duration of their miserable lives. You do not want to join them. A high, tortuous pass winds through the hills north of the Blood Pit and turns eastward towards the great citadel of Ardent Hope, foremost of the 777 that house Mehrunes Dagon's legion. This area is heavily patrolled, so the citadel is best viewed from a distance. Continue east into the hills above Ardent Hope, and you will find a tunnel that leads to the Sever. This brings you to the doorstep of Destruction's Solace. Here you must not linger. This seemingly dead city is Mehrunes Dagon's seat of power, and if you find the gate standing open, do not enter. Follow the path descending eastward through the dreary plains of the Sever until it meets a north-south road. Your way lies south, but take care. A terrible Havelkrill is doomed to tread this path for eternity, challenging anyone he meets, but soon you come to a region of broken badlands where a path to the south leads to what may be the one safe refuge in this region of the Deadlands, Wretched Spire. Wretched Spire is built around the wreckage of a great temple that Mehrunes Dagon long ago pulled into the Deadlands from some section of Nirn. It is a haven for outcasts and scavengers, those who seek to elude Dagon's sight. For some reason, Dagon's servants never venture near the place, and a small number of dishonored Daedra and lost or escaped mortals have made a settlement of sorts here. It is a hard existence, but here at least the traveler can find rest and provisions of a sort. From Wretched Spire, your road continues eastward to the highlands, marking the eastern extent of the server. Here you can find the portal leading back to the safety of Fargrave, but if you wish to behold one last sight of Mehrunes Dagon's realm, continue north just a little farther and you will come to the false martyr's folly, a dead forest that clings to the dreadful vales of the Server's mountains. The folly is said to imprison the spirits of those who defied Mehrunes Dagon. Decaying insects of horrible size and pestilential imps lurk in these woods. Again, it is not wise to linger. Look upon the petrified remains of Dagon's foes, then depart while you can. Good luck to you, traveler. So, I want to just take you there for a minute. I mean, not there, but onto the map. So if we look at the map, right, and we come out of Tamriel, here is the Deadlands, right? Here's Fargrave, and if we look at Fargrave, you can see here's Fargrave proper, and it's down here where you're going to find the portals that take us to the that take us out to the Deadlands. But there's a really, if you've never gone to Fargrave and explored, you're missing out on some really spectacular stuff. There's a whole merchant area that's just gorgeous. It's beautiful and just worth walking around just for beautiful ideas for setting up houses or just to look. And then here's Skin Row, and up here is the bathhouse. Gotta see it. You gotta see it. Forgotten Ferratory is there. It's not. You just gotta. And then look at right there. Right there is the Deadlands. Go to that. Here's the Deadlands, and it is packed. Now this is a place. Now remember, we have 100% XP, so you don't have to waste an XP scroll or anything like that through Monday. Through Memorial Day for you in America. But go out here and just traveling around, you're going to be constantly battling and killing things and earning XP. So, and then of course, we've got the different, we've got two, I think? Yeah, two. And then there's some dungeons. You've got a few dungeons. Here is a summit to go to. It's electrifying if you've never been up there. Agony's Ascent. You can see I've never been there. I still need to go back and finish. Maybe I'll go there this weekend and just explore. It's pretty cool. There's the blood pit. It's really interesting. I gotta tell you one thing. Once you get down in there, it's really hard to get out of it. Just beware. Just beware. So my friends, I have so many traveler's guides, but if you look in, I'm going to go back into the lore book because I'm running out of time today. But if you go back up here to where we were, you've got stuff on Cypher's the Middens in Apocrypha. And then if you go into our next book, you've got guides. Just make notes and look for guides. Guide to Tamriel castles. I mean, hello. Go spend some days looking at castles. It's going to tell you where they all are. How cool is that? Just to hop around, and once you're in a different area, to just look at the castles. Go on a castle hunt. And then give yourself like a reward for looking at all these castles. I am going to do that. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing for sure this weekend. And then guides, visitors, travelers. But here's a visitor's guide to Galen. It tells you all the wonderful places, taverns to go to, the Vastier's walls to go see, the cathedral. Oh, you know, there's so many things. The telling stones. I bet you've never been there. Look at, there's one of the castles, Castle Tonir, and Glimmer Tarn is there. If you have never been, open up this book. And if you don't already own the lore, then go to the unofficial wiki pages and search for it, and then it'll open up and you can read it off of the website. All right, and then if you go into the next book, the Books of Blackwood, then you've got the Traveler's Guide to Leowyn. All right. And I want to say something to you. Let me find it here. Traveler's Guide. Whoops, there's also a Traveler's Guide to Gideon, but I don't have that yet. Traveler's Guide to Leowyn. All right. So again, so many cool. There's Castle Leowyn to visit. It's another castle, right? Every zone, you know, has a castle, right? It's the center, but go to it, go into it, loot your castles. Castles are so lootable. Anyways, this is just really fun to look at. But I want to share something with you about Blackwood. Let's look at the map. Let's go back here. Where's Blackwood? Blackwood's down here, right? Blackwood is really has portals. If you've never gone to Blackwood, when you're running around, one of the cool things about Blackwood, it has Daedric portals suddenly opening up all over the place. I believe this is the one. Correct me if I'm in the wrong zone, but you can go into Oblivia, and there's a whole quest that you can do when you go through those portals. I mean, if you are looking for something different to do, go find those. You have to be willing to run across the landscape, and then boom, you see that vortex opening up. And if nothing comes out of it to fight you, that means you go into it. Sometimes things will come out of it and you have to kill them, but then you can go through, and there's a whole Oblivion realm that's in there. I think that's really cool and something to think about. And then I just want to look at the map a little bit with you, because here's our northern Elsewhere, right? Right here, northern Elsewhere, southern Elsewhere, and then of course out here is Kinarthy's Roost. These are all Khajiit areas, but here are the dragons. These are the dragons. Go get the achievement. Go there. There are 2 different tapestries you can find, and you get the fragments. There's a tapestry in Blackwood too you can get. Go Google it, look up the locations, and then take yourself and do those achievements this weekend. You're exploring whole new zones, right? And it makes it fun. It totally makes it fun. So do something different. Get out of your ordinary rut and go explore this wonderful map and enjoy it. Have fun with it. Hrothgar. I love Hrothgar. Hrothgar is such a cool place. And then up here is Rivenspire. Rivenspire has some really beautiful areas. If you've never done the quest there, the quest is very interesting, and I would encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, Flowerchild567, and go to the playlist for Rivenspire. You start in Shornhelm. That's where the main quest starts, in Shornhelm. But yeah, you gotta learn that way, how to do the main quest line, and I show you how to do that. I eventually show you how to do it. Not the first 2 or 3 sessions. What are you doing, girl, dog? Stop. She's scratching. Anyways, that's a really cool map to walk on. And, of course, Televani. We've got so much. And last but by no means least, if you've not yet gone into the Endless Archives, this may be a weekend where you want to go explore and experience Apocrypha and the archives, which is right there up above that. I can't get there. Hold on. Okay, so right there is the Infinite Archive. Okay? So you'd go to this way shrine and then right on up. It's a short distance. So on behalf of our wonderful sponsors and also dedicated to the writers of ESO, get out and explore. Live a little in Elder Scrolls Online. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget, on Monday at midday my time, Pacific time, California time, is the Dungeon Mania, and we have 2 dungeons we usually go to. The first is always a vet level, and the second one is always a normal. So, all right, my friends, thank you for tuning in, and until we meet again, happy travels. Bye for now. See you again. Thanks for joining me.